My name is Magic8Ball. I'm joined by Broken Pinky, and we've got some great Splatoon for you. The biggest Splatoon tournament, not run by Nintendo, in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that like we're breaking all these records. 79 teams entered this tournament. I mean, just mathing it out, 316 individual Splatoon players at least. It's just crazy. Like the scale of this event is nothing that we've ever seen before, and I'm just super happy to be here and happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, the crowd already has been getting so loud.
Oh yeah.
Like just because there's so many more people than we're used to, right? And like there's just not even enough seats or space for all of us.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like we're gonna get packed like sardines once again, even though we're in the ballroom this time.
Yeah.
Smash is right there, like, and we're louder than they are.
Oh, by heaps and bounds.
By a mile.
I mean, to be fair, let's be honest, Smash is probably asleep by now.
But yeah.
I mean, if they don't have pools, why are they up before like 2 p.m.? Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna get louder as the day goes on, I'm sure. But
yeah, I would imagine.
We got to have our time in the spotlight. Everyone was kind of looking at us like, all right, what's going on here? But what's going on right now, I believe, is we have the Whiprays versus
Seagull.
Seagull, yes. And I'm familiar with some of the members on Seagull. They've been playing around for a while as well. But what can you tell me about the Whiprays?
Well, the Whiprays has been a perennial team in the low-level scene. I believe the stats are that they're one of 3 teams to have entered all of the seasons of Ludi, Leagues Under the Ink. So they've been around for a while. They've just been a force in the low-level scene. Recently got FTIU banned, and such a positive force in the community. All of them, such wonderful people. So, I mean, I always love interacting with them. I saw Sofa so many times this weekend, and he's just a big ball of fun. So, I'm super excited for this.
No, and they were here at LTC. They were here at Genesis.
Yeah, they go to everything.
They really do. So it's always fun seeing them. They're on the left side of your screen. On the right side, we have Seagull, who are also some pretty perennial players. Hello Kello, Mothman. They were previously on, what team am I thinking of? Acropora. And I'm not too familiar with Pie for Breakfast. I think he was at the last LTC, if I remember correctly. And this group kind of played together. I think they go by a bunch of different names, right? Like pickups, lands and pickups, right? But they're veterans as well. So this is going to be a fun match. I think technically it's a little bit of a mismatch scene, but like if I'm going to be honest, this tournament, once you get past like the top like 30 teams, it's anyone's game.
It's the Wild West.
It's the Wild West.
Like it's just great. Like again, 79 teams, so many people. You can just look behind the teams at how many people are in this ballroom right now. Almost all of them that you can see on the screen are going to be for Splatoon. So it's just crazy. And yeah, there we go. The titular Whiprays. Holding up that W.
All right, well, looks like we're getting to the lobby. First one we've got is Rainmaker Undertow. And I know that Mothman, who's on the far end of the Seagulls, is a Splatling player and will be raining bullets down on this team. So this is going to be a fun Undertow Rainmaker match. If everyone's excited, I want to hear it. And I'm so ready for this match.
I want the crowd to go live, absolutely, yeah. Oh, we're seeing some interesting picks coming out on both sides here. We're going to be seeing Nate on that Forge Pro, Rhythm on the Mini Splatling. Other side, we're going to be seeing the Orange Zap coming out from Mothman, not that Splatling like you were talking about.
Right, yeah, but instead Eden's going to be playing the Splatling on the side of Seagull. This is such an interesting little combo here. Eon doing a good job diving onto the fellow Slosher, instead getting turned around. First pickup by the Whiprays is going to be a little bit of distance, not too much right now. Going to get stopped at the door, in the corner, stuffed. And overall, like, I feel like either of these teams could have a really explosive push if given the opportunity.
Absolutely, and the Whiprays look like they're trying to take that opportunity. Eon's going to be breaking that checkpoint after that, wonderful starting performance. Tri-Nuvo is absolutely phenomenal on this map, and Eon, one of the best players at the weapon in the scene. Sofa going to be grabbing the Rainmaker. Cooler is going to be out for the Whiprays here, and already points starting to mount away here. 43, Rhythm is going to get taken down though. Sofa just holding forward, is going to get stopped eventually at 19, but Whiprays 3 down. Looks like that push is going to end there.
And remember, this is the changed Rainmaker Undertow, right? So there's no more unpaintable. That little choke point is no longer, okay, we can just stop them at the door. They're going to try and run for it, and that's exactly what the Whiprays did. Another 3-down situation for the Seagull. They've got Pie for Breakfast here, who's at least holding his own, trying to take care of Rhythm. He's going to get the trade on the Ultra Stamp, but not going to be able to do too much more afterwards. Finally, it seems like we're seeing some green on the ground. All in all, I really like this composition from Seagull, but it needs so much to get going, and I'm not certain that this is like their bread and butter for a lot of these players.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they've really, put their foot on the gas quite yet. It still feels like they're trying to feel it out a little bit. Again, it's their first game of the day, so players are still kind of warming up just a little bit, but the Whiprays going full steam ahead. Sofa's going to get taken down while carrying that Rainmaker, but Eden showing up with that Splatling here, that heavy edit, close to that Hatch Cooler as well. All of the players on Seagull relatively close to their specials, it seems. Zuka is going to be at the ready. Eon trying to Shark here is going to get taken down, found out, and Whiprays are going to be 3 down right now. This is a big opportunity for Seagull here if they choose to push in the right way. Chomps are coming out as well.
Let's go, Chomps!
Looks like they're opting to go left.
They're opting to go left. And this is the kind of situation that I was talking about, right? Like, they had the jump on the team. They're able to at least get the dunk. They kind of went for more Gambit-style play just to break through and remove that checkpoint, which I understand. But when you're playing against a team that has a cooler that's going to be up much more often than this heavy edit, it's going to be a lot harder to try and get back into this match, right? This Tri-Slosher could probably get one here. Doesn't end up going for it, but is going to be right back in the game within seconds. And that's going to be tough to deal with, right? You have to try and remove these players, and they keep popping back up like moles.
Absolutely, yeah. The Whiprays just will not go down without a fight. They've just been continuing to cycle these picks on the side of Seagull here. One's going to get splatted there onto that ramp area here. Booyah Bomb's going to be popped. Rhythm, though, with the Rainmaker is going to get taken down by Pi for breakfast with that Zuka. And Pi's going to find another one on Eon with that Hail Mary Zuka shot. They might just be the GOAT. And now Nate Stranded is going to get taken down. That's a great regroup for Seagull here as they're going to get the pop on the Rainmaker. Chumps are coming out onto this right-hand side, but Mothman still trying to keep the options open, looking at the left, looking at the right.
Yeah, they do have a good opportunity here if the members of the Whiprays overcommit to this left side defense, but it doesn't seem like they're doing so. They've got the 2 specials. They've been so good about that. They've been using these specials at just the right time and just the right cadence to make sure that they can prevent Seagull from really moving in the ways that they want to. I also feel like Seagull, just because they're going up against a Splash and a Mini, they have 0 paint, is what it's been looking like.
Oh, yeah. No, those weapons dump out paint like it's no tomorrow. Whiprays, once again, going 3 down. It's just going to be 2 left on the side of Seagull as well. Sofa trying to find a pick is going to get taken down by the Rainmaker. 1 minute left, and it's just, I mean, this whole game has felt like a battle in mid, but neither team has really gotten, I guess Seagull has not really gotten to push past that checkpoint, but the Whiprays had that great opening push to 19, and it's been really hard for Seagull to match that. So with 50 seconds left, this is close to their last chance. They're trying to get this started on the left side here. Tri-Strikes are going to be coming out. Rainmaker shots coming out. Rhythm is going to be striking here with that hammer. Going to be popping it right on the bucket to find a pick. Oh, but they're going to get taken down by the Rainmaker shots as well.
Mothman is the only one left standing, but they're 3 down on the side of the Whiprays. It's only Nate trying to dip dance around this Rainmaker shield, trying to get down by the pop. Piper Breakfast is going to try and go in to try and make some room for the Seagull, but it's not going to land. The Eon is doing such a good job on this high ground, but Kello's able to find 1 at least, probably going for more. They understand that Rhythm is right up there, and they're taking down the Ultra Stamp. 2 specials on the side of Whiprays, but it's not enough. Mothman is able to dive forward, and the Whiprays are on the back foot, and they've got 10 seconds left to try and make this comeback.
10 seconds to get a miracle started. Oh my goodness. Mothman is the GOAT Rainmaker carry for that. How? I don't even know. They were just able to find all the players of the Whiprays sharking in all the right spots.
Such good Rainmaker shots,
right,
too.
It was crazy. How did they know Rhythm was even up there? Now, Nate, the Rainmaker carry for the Whiprays, getting hunted by these Tri-Strikes in a corridor. Is going to get caught out.
You can't charge that shot there.
And the Whiprays are going to get taken down. Seagull with a beautiful comeback there at the very end of game 1.
No, that was so good.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Pie for breakfast. Did you see that crazy
Zuko.
long
oh my
shot?
God.
That was insane. I can't. Shoutouts to the spec cam operator on that one. That was beautiful.
That was
getting that shot.
Yeah, like. And that was so huge for momentum. Like, that was the beginning of Seagull really starting to come back together as a team, starting to get coordinated and more organized, and that, slowly but surely led to that big explosive push down to 17 points, barely snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. So now the onus is on the Whiprays. They had that advantage the whole game. How are they going to regroup from losing it at the very end?
Right. Especially on LAN, momentum is so prevalent, right?
Yeah.
Because now the crowd is cheering after that crazy finish, and you kind of start to feel like, oh, maybe they're cheering against me. Like, they're usually not. They're just cheering because it was such a close game, such a tight game.
Exactly.
It's that tension, right? And some teams might not feel too great under that tension, but you look at look at the players of the Whiprays. Do a little handshakes. They're still smiling. They know, because they've been to so many lands before that pressure, they can't break under it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we saw Eon like trying to compose themselves a little bit on the far right. Sofa, just Whiprays, even after losing that game in such like a quote-unquote soul-crushing way, they're still so positive, just ready to go in with a renewed mindset, and that's exactly what they need if they want to take this game. Game 2 is going to be happening on Tower Control on Ship Shape, and this is one of the maps, especially that second checkpoint, is a massive bottleneck.
Now it looks like on the side of the Whiprays, Sofa King is going to be completely sticking to that splash, right? As well as Rhythm being on these Splatlings, and Nate being on the pro, kind of the long range, maybe more Zuka-ish weapons. And I think that that's going to do well on Tower Control Ship Shape.
Oh, I agree. No, Zuka is phenomenal on this map. Booyah is a phenomenal special on Tower Control as a mode, especially on this map. Rhythm, depending on the spotting that they pick, can do a really good job of locking out.
Hydra on there.
They have Hydra in the back.
They have Hydra.
And
I don't know if we're going to see it. Like you said, Booyah's good here.
Hydra,
Yeah.
But let's just get right into it. Game 2, I would imagine we're going to see some different comps at least. Double shot's going to be coming out. There's that Hydra, yeah. And we're going to be seeing Ballpoint coming out from Eden this time.
Ooh, okay. This is such a different situation too, right? Because Kello switching to that Neo machine, which is actually so important for this map mode, especially if you're dealing with 2 ninja squids on the side of the Whiprays. Seagull winning this game in weapon select, apparently, because that was such a smart adjustment to make sure that you're constantly poking out these frontliners that can really dive on you, making sure that you're constantly chipping them down so that they can't walk forward super aggressively. Now, Kello does go down, but that means that it's going to be easy pickings for the Whiprays. 2 already. Piper Breakfast going to find Rhythm, though.
Just barely able to...
Shot for shot.
Oh, Nate is going to be winning that battle. It's going to be on the tower, but here comes Kello with that machine. They know where they are, but Nate's going to win that battle regardless, and now they're starting to aggress, trying to find the picks onto Mothman, onto the rest of Seagull here. The Whiprays trying to get back toward that first checkpoint here, but Eden holding down the fourth. Mothman holding forward just a little bit. Here comes the rest, but Rhythm with that Hydra Splatling is going to be able to get that battle. It's just the Neo Machine. Kello trying to stay alive, but with the Booyah Bomb at them is not going to be able to survive, and the Whiprays getting the first checkpoint.
And that was a really good clutch Zuka from Sofa King, who was hiding on the tower, who switched off of the splash and is going to be just turning out these Zukas, and as you see, so much pressure already. One going down for Mothman. Cooler on tower path. Very, very dicey.
Yeah, absolutely. Very dicey situation, but the Seagull is able to get that defense. 30 is where that lead is going to stand for the Whiprays. If I'm them, I might even want to try and get a little bit more points on the board because that second checkpoint is so critical here, but Mothman is going to find that pick onto Nate. They're in the bottom area and is now starting to patrol a little bit, getting close towards that cooler. Seagull, once again, trying to regroup a little bit. I mean, we saw this in game 1, but Seagull was able to win from this position. Here comes Eden on that Inkjet.
This is so important, right? I really like this adjustment because Inkjet is so strong here and can do so much work, but not if your team is not ahead of you on the tower path where you jumped from. That's going to be Eon going at least for 1, maybe for more. This Tri-Slasher has been such an important piece of the strategy for the Whiprays.
Absolutely. No, Eon lives and dies by that shark, and the Whiprays does such an amazing job of painting for Eon to move forward here. Piper Breakfast trying desperately to run from Eon as fast as possible. They're going to be able to escape and try to get the flank onto Rhythm, but they're going to jump out, and Eon's going to find that jump regardless. Sofa is going to be back on that tower. Seagull trying to set up defensively. They know that this push is coming. Mothman trying to get some sort of picks by this tower. Eden's going to go down. Mothman's still trying to fight here. Nate hopping onto that tower. It's 1 versus 1 as we make it to that last checkpoint.
Again. Pi wins this time. Nate's not going to land it. They have a Zuka. At the very least, Pi is the Zuka, and they've got the members coming back in. It's a fight for mid here. Pi did such a good job at getting up there, getting close, and holding the back to this top right, which could be the difference here as one goes down. 1 for 1. Zuka's out on both sides. They're trying to shoot at each other and not finding anything. There's at least a lot going for the Whiprays here, and it seems like Seagull really cannot find their footing on this game either.
Yeah, no, the Whiprays are in arguably even more of a dominant position than they were in game 1 because at this point, Seagull doesn't even have a checkpoint to their name. This time, the shot duel is going to end in a trade. It's one win, 1 loss, and 1 draw. That's crazy.
Okay, hold on. I've seen this before, right? Where the Seagull starts slowly flapping their wings and trying to get back into the Delta Stream.
Not as Soda has anything to say about it.
3! What in the world? Standing there knowing exactly what just happened, but they're still one on the tower. They're able to at least block the checkpoint. No, wait, there was a jump.
How?
There was a jump.
Oh my goodness, they didn't see Kello jumping to the tower. Wait, just a minute. The last game, Seagull got the checkpoint when they were wiped out. A minute left on the clock. Magic, I'm scared. I'm scared.
History doesn't repeat, but it most certainly rhymes. And we're going to have to see if these bars start conflating together. There's still 2 shots on the board, and both of them are very close to Zuka. This could be the final push right here.
Sofa's close to their own Zuka. We've seen what he's been doing
my
this
God,
entire
they're
time.
them.
Oh my God, Bomb is going to get taken down. Zap's going to be taken down. 50 seconds left, and Seagull is going to be 2 down. Piper Breakfast pressured, but here comes his own Zuka trying to find Freedom. But Freedom's going to get the win instead, proving all the Hydra doubters wrong. 40 seconds left on the map, and the Whiprays holding onto that tower for the passive special charge. Rhythm has the Booyah Bomb at the ready. Mothman going to get taken down by his Suction Bomb, and it looks like it's starting to fall apart just a little bit for Seagull.
Starting to fall apart for Seagull, but definitely coming together for the Whiprays. They're still riding on this tower. Piper Breakfast is painting for Zuka, question mark? They're, just leaving it to the rest of the team. Whiprays needs to get one good defense here to even up the score, and they've got everything in their arsenal to do so, including finding maybe an overextended Mothman, but instead, that cooler goes down, and there's a Zuka out for the Seagull. They've got food in their sights, and they're trying to go after the umbrellas on the beach. That's a Zuka
Oh, but 3
out.
dead! That could just be the end of the game. It's just Eden, and Neon sees them, and that is going to be the Whiprays getting that game 2. History does not repeat itself, at least within this set, quite yet. Whiprays evening the score 1-1.
I didn't even pick this stream match. I'm gonna give that one to Siren. This is already so good. This
Right?
is so good.
Oh man, I mean, in the Whiprays bio, they said, watch out for Eon to drop off a lot of 20 bombs, and I feel like that might have just been one of those games.
Yeah,
because,
definitely a little bit of an understatement there.
oh man, Eon was so good on that Tri-Slosher, and again, it's because the Whiprays does such a good job of facilitating Eon to go in.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that Tri-Slosher can be so hit or miss, right? At all levels of play, right? Everyone knows about their Tri-Slosher that goes in absolutely feeding their buttocks off. And everyone's the worse for wear for it. But especially on a map like Ship Shape, like it can be really, really impactful.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
The verticality with, just all those boxes that are scattered in the mid-ground, those are really nice for Tri-Slosher to play around because you can constantly move around them, right? Because it increases its chances of catching people off guard. So it's 1-1.
It is 1-1.
Whiprays, maybe a little bit of momentum, maybe feeling a little bit better after that one, right? And they can start maybe finding their footing, right? We talked about how Seagull looked like. They were kind of like, oh, it's their first game. They were kind of like sluggish to get to the go. But now it seems like Whiprays is also shaking off a little bit of that
Yeah.
those nerves, that first match of the day kind of
Exactly, yeah.
sleepiness.
I mean, it's just the pressure of being the first match of your wave pool and just being streamed so incredibly stressful. But the Whiprays rising to the occasion, had a very strong game 1, very strong game 2 where they were able to get that win. And I'm looking forward to the set. Looks like game 3 is going to be happening on Clamlet, Barnacle, and Dime.
Oh, okay. Clam Barnacle. That's going to be really good for Kello's V-Slosher, right? Because of the trip strikes. For whatever reason, Barnacle and Dime is like the only map mode that trip strikes works well on.
It feels like more than an actual
It feels
special.
so much more
It's
on
crazy.
that map specifically, and I don't get it. But all in all, I think their comp still works better for it, and in the style that they're playing in, right? They're not trying to overextend. They're not trying to deathball. They're not.
The crowd is coming to life a little bit.
Yeah, there's somebody screaming.
We're screaming a little bit back here.
I guess they are.
They're chanting for the Whiprays, it sounds like. So it looks like Whiprays going back to their game 1 comp. It seems Blob Deco coming out for Kello. And the Anakin Nova. Whoa.
Now, I hope they remember that this is post-patch Kraken, where there is no free jump-ins. Now, there's still some tech that you can do, right? With the starting the Kraken there, and then your jump spot is wonky for it, right?
Yeah.
But they need to get in position to make that happen, and it's going to be very difficult to do that. They do have the Anakin Nova, though, as well on Mothman, who's going to be using this Inkjet to good effect, all in all, pushing Eon back and getting control of the mid-ground for the time being.
Yeah, Seagull's doing a great job immediately of using that Inkjet to take some space, but Sova doesn't care with that crap thing. He's going to find a pick. 2 down on the side of Seagull. Whiprays trying to move back forward, but here comes Kello with the defense with that Blob Deco. it's just a battle here. Sova is able to find some shock, but the Kraken is coming out. Is going to get canceled, though, as the Whiprays going to regain mid. They're going to have some tactical pressure, and they have a lot of clams at their disposal.
I really do like this mini spiraling.
Whoa!
The power of the Tri-Slosher getting the Tri-Splat. That's going to be such an important time. A little bit of time wasted for not getting that power clam out up there super early, and you see that because of that, there's a little bit of a disconnect between the teammates of the Whiprays. Finding 1 for 2 with that Zuka shooting through the Booyah Bomb player and finding their teammate. That's so unfortunate.
That's just unfortunate, honestly. But I mean, again, really good shot for the Whiprays. Not as many points as they would have liked, but Rhythm going to find a trade there with that hammer, and that's going to stem that cooler supply that Seagull's been very, good at getting out this whole game. Ancient's going to be recalling as well. Right now it's just dead even standstill. I will say Seagull does have considerably more range than the Whiprays. That makes it hard for the Whiprays to get approach going if they don't have that paint on the map.
I really like the chip comp style, right? With the Inkjet, with the blob, with the bombs, and the pop shots from the Splatling. Like, it's a really good way at maintaining ground, but then they can get collapsed upon really easily, just like this, if they're not careful, and they have been not.
Yeah.
Hello's out here dying in mid, and that's going to be at least a good chance for the Whiprays to actually make a stand here.
Yeah, Sofa's feet is going to get painted there as they try to score, but they're going to be able to break that
3
barrier.
times!
Oh
4! Okay.
It looks like he's going to be the wipeout on the Whiprays as they're going to get the score down to 58. Seagull trying to regain mid. About half of the game has, gone past here. And Seagull not really been able to get anything going forward, but I mean, it's kind of the same old song and dance for the whole set.
Ooh, good chip damage, but they're not looking at the top right where Nate was with that Forge. That's going to be you can see that all of their attention got super distracted as soon as Nate poked out from that right side, and they weren't able to adjust correctly, right? They all turned their focus. The Inkjet shots weren't going towards the rest of that high ground area where the Whiprays ended up coming back in from. That's such a difficult situation, right? Target selection is one of the most important things I talk about. And right here, they're trying to target select this Forge Pro, but they're still not able to do anything. This is a power clam going in once again for the Whiprays.
The Whiprays just keep on cycling that score, and I agree. Like, it's so hard when you try to pay. There's no one member of the Whiprays, and then a Tri-Slasher comes crashing in out of nowhere, and then a Forge Pro comes crashing in out of nowhere. It's just so hard for Seagull to select that right target right now. And I mean, the Whiprays is definitely profiting off it. 3 down on Seagull once again is just going to be eaten with that Splatling, and that's going to be an easy pick for Rhythm on that hammer. The Whiprays does not have that clam economy right now to get a good score going, but Sofa's going to be going back, and the Whiprays still holding the space very well.
Yeah, and again, it's all about this Tri-Slosher on these ledges. Pie for breakfast really needs to find something here, but cannot. Finally, the chip damage goes in the way of the Seagull. Whiprays has just been so stellar here, though. And I love this mini Splatling pick. Can we talk about this, right? The Burst Bomb for getting chip damage to try and chip down for this Tri-Slosher. Entry in with this Ultra Stamp, like, even if they go down, it means that there's so many more avenues for the players of the Whiprays to start targeting down, right? Like, Eon's in the backfield again, finally getting taken down by Kello, and that's going to at least be a little bit of a better chance for Seagull to try and take this game once again out of the hands of the Whiprays.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it starts to get a little bit scary. 30 seconds left, not including overtime, and Seagull has a lot of clams at the ready. I don't know if it's quite enough for the lead quite yet. My mental map is not that good, but it's definitely going to be close. 25 seconds. Whiprays has to get that defense unlocked. Nate finds one. It's going to go down.
So
but wait a minute with the Zuka! It's just going to be Rhythm on that plat. Popping the hammer, trying to find the pick. Is going to find one. But the clam misses!
They missed the
Pie
clam!
for breakfast is going to get one on the rebound, but that clam is going to disappear any second now. Mothman cannot make it in time. Eden jumping with another power clam jump is going to be camped, and that overtime looks like it's going to expire. Oh my goodness, the Whiprays!
Now, my coaching brain is going off right now. Look at the crowd! Shoutouts to the crowd! I love you guys!
All of you, oh my god, just bore witness to it. That was a great, all these games have had crazy endings. Oh my goodness.
My coaching brain is going off right now. Because let me lay it down for you, right? in that situation, Pie for breakfast, you get 3. I got a power clam. My teammates got a power clam. We're going to go for this basket. There's 10 seconds left. Like, we need to do something now. That is the wrong move.
Yeah.
Do you understand why that is the wrong move?
You have to, like, wait for the whole, because Whiprays are going to respawn fast, and they're going to be respawning right in time to defend you. So Pie for breakfast needs to wait for the team to regroup just a little bit. It's just that one wrong decision.
Right, exactly. And it's like, it's not even like it's a right call, wrong call situation, like a binary. It's definitely on a spectrum.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's so much that can happen in between there that you have to adapt to make something the right call or the wrong call technically. So it's so tough in those situations, right?
But all the pressure as well.
You have to recognize that overtime gives you that extra 20 seconds to regroup, to get another round of picks, to make sure that you have enough clams, right? And that enough clams have spawned so that you can maintain the push, right? Because everything's on a timer there. So much. There's so much going on there. And that's why Splatoon is such a beautiful, profound, complex, insane game.
Especially on Clanless. There's just so much going on at all times. It's so hard to wrap your head around it. But, I mean, just well done to the Whiprays. They were so good on that offense and just so good at picking apart that defense. Even, like, from the brink, when Pie just got a beautiful Zuka triple, they were still able to regroup just in time.
And then there was moments of brilliance.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So many times during those games, right? Like, Kel on the Blob was doing actually really solid, even defending against that Tri-Slosher, but on the other side, the Tri-Slosher, the Zukas, the great plays from, like, Rhythm as well with the Ultra Stamp to make so much room. Like, there's so much potential here on either side to really break apart the game. Now we're going to zones on Umami, and if I have to give it to any of these comps, I have to give it to the Whiprays.
No, this is great. Like, looking at the 4 games we've played so far, they're all really good Tri-Slosher maps.
Yeah.
Game 5, not as good. Granted, Scorch, not amazing for Tri, but, like, just that little bit of cover in mid, Tri is so good at playing around
and just preventing people from getting on that high ground. And then in combination with, like, Rhythm, if he goes, Hydra.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're gonna have no control on the side of Seagull.
It's just been so hard for Seagull to crack this comp because, like, I mean, N-Tri has just slowly been dipping out of the meta. Same with the Splatlings, you know, like Mini and Hydra. It's just something that I feel like they're not quite used to, a style they're not quite used to. And the Whiprays is absolutely taking advantage of that in just all forms of the team fights and the team structures and anything. So, I mean, this has just been one heck of a set. We have potentially one more game. This is set point here for the Whiprays. Last chance for Seagull to try and force a game 5.
The less you see the knuckleball, the more valuable it becomes to start throwing it, right?
Absolutely.
Game 4, game points, sticking to the old reliables, the Whiprays. The Pencil Zuka Chumps Sloshers comp comes out of Seagull, and I love this adjustment. Such a good adjustment.
Absolutely, but I mean, again, it's going to be kind of hard for them to locate the 2 Sharkers, but not if they get the pick on Eon immediately. This is already a much better start for Seagull. Mothman finds 2 picks, and that's going to be potentially a triple for Mothman on the orange zap. That's going to be an early zone cap for Seagull here. This is the kind of momentum that they've been lacking this entire set, and now they really got their foot on the gas pedal.
Like, they're usually not the ones to make the first move, but they were like, all right, we know that we're just going to rush that right side, and that was everything that they needed. Slot, the cooler comes out, but it's not going to do much. They have to try and dance around this Ultra Stamp. Kello going to try and land this slosh. A couple of flicks not going their way. Going to be able to find it. Maybe one more. Can the pencil land the finishing blow? And it does! And Pie for breakfast comes around the other side, and that cooler did not get picked up by the majority of their team. This is probably going to be a KO for the Seagull.
This could be it. Umami's incredibly lockout heavy, especially when the Whiprays are starting from scratch, and they don't have that range value, don't have really any specials, no Zuka, no nothing. They're just trying to get whatever kind of picks they can, but Nate's going to go down for dropping aggressively, but here comes Eon with the double, potentially the triple. Is just the pencil. Eden going to be forced out. Beautiful play from the Whiprays, that dual-pronged assault we've been seeing all set, and they're set up for success.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at how fast they're already in the base of Seagull, right? With this grab that's so important for locking teams out, but the Chumps and the Zuka are going to be able to shut things down for the time being. No cooler. The pencil goes down. Eden was not able to land the shots needed to save himself. Pie for breakfast needs to try and dance around this Sofa King, try and dance around the bed frame, but it's going to look like not a sweet lullaby for this time. That's at least one down on the side of Seagull. Potentially more. Eden can't shoot this Ultra Stamp. The Whiprays are looking like they've got to take this one back, and they will!
That's a triple from Rhythm. That's the full wipeout 10 points away from this lead switch, and that could be potentially the whole game and the whole set for the Whiprays. Nate coming in, finds a pick on Mothman, trying to find another pick. Pie for breakfast goes down. It's just Keller. Another wipeout. 20 points left, and the Whiprays are going to do it. There's no chance for Seagull at this point.
They've got to dive for the zone and try and hold it. You can see Kello running. Pie for breakfast. Not going to have enough paint. That's Whiprays winning their first round of pools. This is the first round of pools.
Low level rejoice from the Ink up. The Whiprays make a huge, I don't even know if that's an upset, but what an incredibly played set from them from start to finish.
Oh. Like I said, this tournament, I've been telling people this, I think this tournament might be the best tournament of all time.
Oh, it has the potential for sure. I mean, if this is just the 4th stream set of the day,
yeah.
There's so much more after this. This is just number 4.
And look at this. They're all buddy. They're all shaking hands. Like, and I'm sure these players know each other pretty well at this point,
oh,
right?
100%. I mean, at this point, when you fight a team, you become pretty good company with them. But I mean, they're just so, positive about all of this. It's just the Splatoon community so good at just coming together like this in such a positive environment. And I mean, even if the Whiprays are going to get the set, they're all homies at the end of the day.
I'm gonna try and lower the level.
Yeah.
As one K-Bot always likes to say that I get a little bit too up here, a little bit too fast, and that's okay. But I need to bring it back down then. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. We can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I remember correctly, the seeds were something like Whiprays were in the 30s, Seagull was in the 60s.
Ooh, okay.
Right, so like a little bit of a battle upwards there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not something super out of our predictions.
Yeah.
Right, but still very solid.
Oh,
and it was a
100%.
set that could have gone either way, and that's what I mean. Like just all these teams, like
all
from
those
like
games were
30
down to the
60.
wire.
Yeah.
Like the last minute was so critical in every single one of those games.
So I firmly do believe this tournament is just gonna have so many good stream sets. And that set is so important, right? Because it's your first of the day. It's going to give you so much confidence moving forward. It gives you so much of a better chance at moving on to Redemption.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because granted, even if they were to lose this next set, they would, have to fight for a chance in Wakeful. But just having that win in your sails already, that bodes really well for the rest of the day, especially if you can convert it to even more wins and potentially, making it out top cut of your seed or top of your bracket.
Yeah, it's so important. Now, granted, the top 12 seeds, so like, you know how I said how like top 30 to top 60, and then there's like 30 to like 15, and then there's like 15 to 1. That's just like a whole different
It's just heavy
level.
hitters.
It's just super heavy hitters.
Just the bar raises so exponentially much when you get to that point. It's crazy. That's where all the best players are just finally coming together and showing up to these lands.
And usually, like, you don't see like such a power-packed top cut.
Yeah.
But this tournament,
this is the biggest.
There's so many heavy hitters, right? You've got Starburst, which has Jared from Jackpot and Zero instead of some of their usual contenders. But then you've got Moonlight, who's also like one of the best.
Yeah, top level team, super top level team.
And then you've got players that are +1, just picking up, making upsets, doing all their things, and it's so much different, right? Because usually you see that for like the top 6-ish, maybe like the top 4 at Genesis, right? But here it's like you've got a list.
Because even at like Low Tide City last year, like this past year when we were stuck in Hammerhead Bridge, it really, the top 4 seeds really kind of ran away with the tournament, and everything else was a battle. I feel like that battle is going to start way earlier this year.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man.
So, speaking of, we're not in Hammerhead Bridge anymore. We are in the ballroom. Right, we were talking about it. We got Smash. You saw the crowd shots.
Yeah.
This is so much more grand.
Oh yeah.
I think. Right?
I mean, for the final Low Tide City, it feels good to I guess be at the big kids table. We're all coming together as one big esports community. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and I like the way you framed it, right? Because like when we're shoved off into our own corner in Hammerhead Bridge, like sometimes it feels like, oh, we're just doing our own little thing, but like now we're a part of esports, it feels like. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
It's awesome. I mean, especially like when you're someone like me who also loves watching Smash, like Melee and Ultimate and stuff, I can just peek over and, oh, this is my favorite Melee player. Oh, this is my favorite Splatoon team. Oh, this is just awesome.
Oh,
like,
it's AZ.
it's just, there's so much cool stuff happening absolutely everywhere in this venue. It's just such a different experience to every other online tournament there is.
Oh, I didn't know we had a match coming up already.
Oh, wow.
Let's go TOs for doing their thing when I am not running it.
Shout out to the TOs always.
Shout out to the TOs. We are kind of running behind, though. Oh, God.
Ooh.
A little bit. Just a little bit. We'll see what happens.
We'll
we've got Memento and Mirage. Now, Memento is